We are at lunch on break.
The ladies are trying to figure out what they're gonna eat.
Hey vibers, so it's Saturday. I'm just at home reflecting on yesterday's experience. Christine, Lauren, and I went to the Millionaire Mind Intensive in LA, and I definitely took a lot home with me that I needed to reflect on, especially surrounding my relationship with money. And of course, as you guys know, we talk about all the time how money is energy. My personal takeaway after doing the workshop and reflecting on my own personal relationship with money, and of course it being much more related to an emotional story that has nothing to do with money whatsoever, I realized that I often have a fear of having money and then losing it. And I thought it was something that I had fully healed, but now I realize it has not been fully healed. It has further healing to do. And of course it stems from abandonment issues, emotional issues from the past that has nothing to do with the present. And so needing to change my belief around abandonment, around getting what I want and then losing it, needs to be let go. And with that, my money, my prosperity will improve. As well as I had the realization of I'm often very tired. My energy is often tired. That's because I think a lot, I'm in my head a lot, I'm analyzing a lot, as well as what I do for a profession, predicting the future all the time, seeing into other people's problems. It influences my energy. And although over time I've gotten a lot better at improving and getting my energy back up and clear, it has taken a toll on me. And that in turn, with money being energy, has affected my money flow in a consistent capacity at times. And the more I am growing into keeping my energy up high, protecting myself, taking care of myself, and even just literally today being the day after I came through these breakthroughs yesterday, I've already seen some improvements in my money flow just in today because my energy is of a higher vibration. I have more awareness of what needs to be changed. And in order to make change, you have to become aware of the issue, of the problem. And so I've already taken away so much from the experience. And yes, these are things I knew on some level, but sometimes it takes another experience to bring it out of you on a deeper capacity or in a deeper capacity. So I now know the emotional issues that need to continue to be healed, to continue to progress my mindset of my own value and of my own energy and where it's going and how it can improve. And that in turn will continue to bring about more money and prosperity, because again, we always say money is an external projection or representation of your inner story, of your inner value and your inner worth. And even in just one day of reflecting on and having the awareness of what is still there, what needs to change and what needs to be healed, I've already seen some progress. So I'm extremely excited to see how things continue to grow and improve for myself moving forward. And yeah, it was such an amazing experience, and I recommend it to anyone who is trying to create more prosperity in their lives, because it's much more than just learning about how to grow and expand your business as an entrepreneur. It was definitely a spiritual experience as well. And a lot of the time it did feel a lot like therapy, but it was completely amazing, and I truly enjoyed it.
Hi guys, so I wanted to get on and talk about my experience at the Millionaire Mind Intensive. So there was something really interesting said about how when you are a child, when you are about 5, 6 years old, you start to adopt your complete views of the world, and you use those thoughts, perceptions, and ideals to make decisions down the line. So that means at that young age, you already have a perception of the world that's going to impact you for years to come. That was a trippy situation. To hear that, to think of where I was around that time and the relationship with my mother at that time, it makes sense how perceptions around money and finances are impacted by those younger years. So that was the thing that stood out the most to me about the experience. But other things that stood out was the ability to really process how important it is to have self-awareness, to have emotional IQ. Because if you block out your emotions, your money will suffer, your healing will suffer, and we don't want that. So it gave me so much more of an empowering feeling to the times where I may have been shamed in the past about how deeply I feel and, how expressive emotionally I am. I think this society that we're in now may feel uncomfortable with a lot of big emotions or may see it as weak or too much or whatever. But I learned yesterday that having good emotional health and awareness positively affects my pockets. And the more awareness you have and you keep, the more empowered you'll feel in business or whatever path you have to create success for yourself. So that felt pretty remarkable. I really enjoyed being around others who wanted to learn, who wanted to truly take in that next level up. Because learning via like a friend or YouTube videos, which I love to do, but it's kind of isolating. So it was just so nice to be in that place of like, okay, I'm with others who don't have it figured out perfectly yet either. And that space, that community inspired me. You don't feel as alone. You don't feel as concerned about looking slow or not knowledgeable or whatever, because you're in, with hundreds of others who want this experience. So this has been my second workshop in recent memory. Third, if you count the Abraham Hicks experience, but specifically around entrepreneurship, the second. And I want to continue to go to these, continue to ask for help, continue to say, I don't have all the answers, support into me, because it's such a fun experience when you have the ability to meet others and to network. And I really enjoyed that. So I just wanted to share my thoughts, my opinions of the experience with you. So it opens you up to learning in whatever path that is for you. If you're not an entrepreneur and you're an artist, what do you want that to look like? If you want to write a book, what do you want that to be like? If you want to be the best roller skater ever, how are you going to get there? I don't want us to sit in our dreams. And that's what I took away. I don't want to sit in my dreams. I want to act on my dreams. I want to plan. I want to give a deadline to, and it's not about putting pressure on yourself, but it's about that excitement of constant movement forward and not doubting your ability to grow even better than you are right now. So I encourage you to go find a workshop or a meetup group, a networking group at a local library, anything to keep that mind going and to keep you in that space of community. All right, Vibers, bye.
So the girls and I went to the Millionaire Mind Intensive yesterday together. It's actually a 3-day workshop, but we only went for 1 day. I have yoga teacher training over the weekend, and we actually got a lot of it out of it yesterday. My favorite part about it was that it was actually low-key pretty spiritual. They talked about the 4 energetic bodies. They had some other name for them. I think they said that you have 4 areas that you live in. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And we basically addressed our associations with money in those areas. We were asked what we think money is, what we think wealth is, what we think rich people are, and we were asked to answer these questions from our conscious mind, just boom. What is it? What do you feel about this? And that helped us get to the bottom of some things that we didn't even know about ourselves. So it helped me understand, the fears that I have around being really successful. And if you have fear around being really successful, then you're going to start to subconsciously sabotage yourself from being able to make those moves. You're going to turn down jobs. You're going to wait too long to make a decision and miss opportunities. There's many ways that this can play out in your life, and we were called to look those things directly in their face, express our fears, and express how our fears have actually held us back. Give tangible examples of that. And through confronting our fears about money in that way, it was so enlightening, so it just helped me understand, I do, maybe have a little bit of fear around money, but I also have a strong belief that I'm here in this life to generate wealth for myself and for my future kids, for my future lineage, to heal, past generations as well and their associations with money, because these associations are of course passed down when your parents raise you. They basically hand off their money fears to you and their beliefs about money to you. So this workshop was a way to start to help myself figure out what specifically I need to unlearn in regards to money in order for me to really be a master at manifesting in my life. So I have noticed things moving slow in certain areas, and now I can directly correlate what fears are slowing me down, so I can work on those fears. I can address those beliefs. Some of those fears are things that I don't even agree with, but they're in there. If I wrote them down, then obviously that means they're in there, right? So this is Koopy, by the way, if you see little ears. So just addressing those fears is just such a powerful way to take control over the way that you're thinking and the way that and kind of shift into the way that you should be thinking in order to be successful. So I'm super pumped about life. I'm so motivated, and that is kind of the point of these exercises, or going to these intensives or workshops or whatever. It's to help you first understand whether or not wealth is something that is important to you in the first place. So once I've realized, this is where I'm supposed to be, this is resonating me with, this is material that I'm definitely, I can feel that my soul was asking for this. And it's so powerful to, as an adult, outside of school, outside of a full-time job, a corporation telling me to do so, going to these workshops and going to these conferences and holding myself and our company accountable for just learning the things that we need to learn as business owners to start to take control over the direction that our company is going. So I love going to workshops, and I did not know that was something that I would ever just really resonate with. But once you have your specific goals in mind, and I know what I want in life, so you can take that to these workshops and really start to hone in on how you go from who you are now to the version of you that is just whatever you want to be, that perfect job, that perfect bank account balance, that perfect outreach into the community, this perfect, competent human being that does everything that she wants to do or he wants to do. It's important to write your goals down and find teachers out there that can help you get there. So going to workshops is definitely one way to do that, to just, find your own value, invest in yourself so that you can provide value for others. So that's my takeaway from the Millionaire Mindset Intensive. It was totally worth it, and I highly encourage especially you business owners, or people who aspire to be business owners or entrepreneurs, I highly recommend that you step outside of your comfort zone, stop reading, stop watching these YouTube videos, and actually invest in going to see some business owners or some entrepreneurs that have made it and are inspiring to you.